Welcome to my introductory recording of my tutorials. I'm going to give you 4 tutorials about MRI, focusing on the relaxation times. This video was recorded after I recorded most of the tutorials. Reason being, I felt that we probably need some motivation, right? We need to have some idea as to why we're learning about time constants in MRI and the effects that changing some of these parameters can have on our images. So we'll start right here with our T1 weighted image. Now, T1 weighted image is what most people think about when they think about MRI scans. It's our anatomical image. And over here we have some data from the Human Connectome project. And we can sort of scroll through this image and we can see that this is a nice MRI image of the human brain, right? And in this case, the gray matter, the cortical gray matter on the surface looks gray, dark gray. The deep gray matter also looks dark gray, and the white matter looks lighter gray. So it's sort of what you'd expect. And when I speak about contrast, we're saying the contrast between this tissue over here, this gray matter tissue over here, and the white matter tissue over here. And when I say over here, I mean look at the cursor that's moving right there, right? Okay, so that's the T1 weighted image. If we go to our T2 weighted image, we can see that the contrast has now changed. And I'd like you to look in the center at the very bright white ventricles. And if you follow my cursor, it's right here or here. And we can see that there's much greater contrast now. So there's much more signal in the ventricles as compared to, say, the white matter, right? And if we can do a quick comparison between the T2 weighted and T1 weighted image, in the T1 weighted image, there is no signal in the CSF, in the ventricles. In the T2 weighted image, there is high signal in the CSF, and so it creates a different contrast. And particularly these scans, very often people note that the contrast between gray and white matter, if you look at the cortical surface of the ribbon, it's not that good in T2 weighted images, right? It doesn't pop out as much as it does in the T1 weighted images right here. But this bright signal in fluid makes T2 weighted images really useful for pathology, because a lot of pathology contains a lot of fluid, and pathology in T2 weighted MRI sequences pops out. So that's one use for T2 weighted images. So unfortunately, I don't have an example, or at least a 3D volume of T2 star weighted images. But I'm going to go to a really good website called MRIquestions.com. And here we can see a T2 star weighted MRI. If you notice over here, the contrast actually in anatomy is probably even worse. You can't distinguish we can distinguish the gray and white matter, but not as well as we would in T1 weighted imaging. But you can see this black bit over there, this decrease in signal. And that's because, well, there was some event that probably happened in this particular patient where blood collected over there, and because blood increases the inhomogeneities around the magnetic field, which we'll talk about in the other tutorials, don't worry about it at the moment, but blood will affect the magnetic field in some way to lose signal, and so we get this contrast created because of these effects of blood, or anything in fact that disturbs the magnetic field. As an aside, I would really recommend you guys to look up this website, MRIquestions.com. It's a great resource, and to be clear, the person who who's responsible for this wonderful site is Dr. Alan D. Esther, who deserves the credit for creating this wonderful site. Finally, I'd like to point to one last thing. We'll be using a program, an online app called the Block Simulator, and I'd just like to explain to you why it's called the Block Simulator. So the Block is the last name of this guy right here, Felix Bloch, who came up with a set of equations that can be used to describe MRI. And so this Block Simulator is named in his honor and uses the equations that he has proposed to simulate the MRIs. So I will leave you at that, and looking forward to seeing you in the next video.